So, did you come home yesterday and realize that you spent your day telling your team or your direct reports everything they were doing wrong? It's not uncommon for leaders to get in the habit of looking for things they need to correct. So, today I'm going to share 3 ways that you can improve your intent behind providing feedback. So, my name is Cindy Jansen, and I'm a facilitator and coach with Living as a Leader and Living as a Leader Online. One of the common mistakes of thousands of leaders that we work with is giving too much negative feedback. If our expectations aren't being met, or if we're getting pressure from our boss, our human response is to react. And when we react, we may respond negatively or in an unproductive way. And when we do give feedback, it's not uncommon for leaders, when they're frustrated, to jump in and talk at you. We think it's our job as a leader to correct people. And this leadership mistake has employees feeling like the only time they ever hear from their boss is when something's going wrong. How many of you imagine the worst when your boss says, "Hey, I'd like to talk with you for a few minutes before the end of the day. Come and see me when you're available." We once heard of an employee whose boss asked to speak with him on a Friday afternoon, and the employee was sure he was going to be fired because, well, we all know what happens on Friday afternoons, right? In fact, the boss gave him great feedback he had received earlier that week from a customer, and the employee was so shocked and very relieved. People get drained when all they hear about is what's going wrong. It's hard to be pleasant, productive, or creative when we're trying to protect ourselves day in and day out. So before I get into the 3 ways, let me share one thing. This leadership mistake has a bit of semantics to it because negative feedback is not the same as redirective feedback. Because let me set the stage to say that feedback is really important. It's extremely important. And feedback is the path to becoming better at what you do, and it's critical for performance because it provides information about how or what a person is doing. And you can't improve without knowing where to improve. And feedback is not a nice to have, it's a key component to a healthy workplace. A little goes a long way. We just can't overdo the negative stuff. So let's talk about 3 ways you can overcome this common leadership mistake about providing too much negative feedback. So number 1, think more about giving positive feedback. Shoot for the 5-to-1 ratio, or 5 more positive interactions overall. And remember, it doesn't just have to be with your team. Think about giving positive feedback to your peers' direct reports, to the janitor, to the front desk receptionist, or even your boss. You want to find people doing things good instead of only looking for the bad. And you can also ask yourself the question of, what does this person do that I value? I'm sure you will come up with a slew of things to give feedback on. Number 2, have the right frame of mind when you do need to give someone negative feedback. You're giving it in the spirit of helping them improve. That's redirective or improvement-oriented feedback. So every day this week, observe your people and find someone who's off track. Approach them in the spirit of wanting to help them improve. Tell them you've noticed something, you'd like to share it and get their reaction. We have a feedback formula to help you with this. It's F plus question mark equals A. F stands for fact. So you share the facts of the situation. Question mark stands for asking an open-ended question, and A equals agreement. And this is where you're going to want to forge an agreement on what will happen going forward. And putting these all together, it could sound like this. So, hey Morgan, I noticed you missed 3 deadlines this week. And yes, that's it. That's all the facts you need to share. Then you say, so what can you tell me about this? Which is that open-ended question. And here's a tip. Be prepared for them not to agree, and they may defend themselves. Do not enter into a debate. When you've both shared your perspective, now you're going to shift towards clarifying expectations and moving forward. So after Morgan shares her side of the story, you forge an agreement, which may sound like this. Okay, so thanks for sharing that with me, and it sounds like you had a lot going on. So we will agree that going forward, you will ensure timelines are met, and if you're running into concerns, you'll let me know within 24 hours, or let me know 24 hours in advance. Sound good? So as leaders, we're good at stating the facts, telling people what's what, and we tend to tell a lot. And as humans, we're driven by our own self-interest. So in our communication and conversations with others, if we don't tend to ask questions about their thoughts and perspectives, we leave them feeling less than because we're too busy trying to get what we want. So by instilling this simple formula into your conversations, it helps with better conversations in your work and in your life. And finally, Every one of us needs feedback. It's the path to success. Just don't overdo the negative stuff. And as a leader, you have a responsibility to find ways to give balanced feedback consistently, confidently, and effectively. So there you have it. 3 ways to overcome this common leadership mistake of giving too much negative feedback. So as a recap, think more about giving positive feedback, have the right frame of mind when you do need to give someone negative feedback, and just don't overdo the negative stuff. So thanks for watching and happy leading.